Hi, I think we're live. Welcome to the Medium channel. Welcome to Tarot Time, where we're going to dive in to the energies of the week ahead. And if you're watching this as a video, we'll get started in just a minute. I give the live people a moment or two to get their notifications. So what we do is we have tarot. I have my tarot cards here. We have other divination decks. I get messages through from spirit as I'm working, and we do a meditation card and really try to help prepare us for whatever energies are coming up, both in your life personally as well as what's going on in the world around you. And even before I dive into tarot, there's two, I'll say, disturbing trends, but I don't want to make this sound negative or doom and gloom. But there's a couple things that I become aware of that we really need to be aware, because it's very telling on what's going on in the world and what we need to look out for and what we need to do to not only stay safe but thrive during these changes. This is a great awakening. This is an ascension, but the old is not letting go. There's a lot of struggles that's playing out here on planet Earth. So we're here to help you sort that out and to help this to be the best time of our lives, not the most challenging. So I'll say, let me put my glass on, say a few quick hellos. I see some of you are here. It's a beautiful day here in the Catskills. We're expecting a high of 85, moderate humidity, not super high humidity. That translates to the low to mid 90s in the valley. So it's a hot day up here, but July hot, not crazy hot, not unusual. Now, when I was asking about the weather, they showed me the number 104. So I think we're going to have a pretty intense heat wave by time July's through, certainly through early August, but we'll see. So anyway, hello, Mr. Floyd channeling. Hi, Josh. Hi, Millie. Hi, Claire and Tracy and Doreen of Children's School of Yoga. And if our schedules line up, Doreen will be back the last Sunday of July to help us out with a yoga class. And we have her classes on a playlist here on the Medium channel. Yoga is a really good thing to be doing right now. Deep breathing, yoga, stay in your power, stay in your heart, stay in your center, right? Oh, happy birthday in heaven, Chris's dad. Very good. 7/7, right? That's my first ex-wife's birthday. I haven't been in touch with her for many moons, but I'll theoretically wish her a happy birthday also. It's also the 7/7 spiritual portal. We're still in the Syrian gateway portal, the Sirius Stargate portal. Take your pick, but Sirius, the fixed star Sirius is at 14 degrees Cancer right now. We've progressed for the sun to 16 degrees Cancer, but on the 5th, the sun and the moon were conjunct because there was a new moon at 14 degrees Cancer. So we got a lot of that going. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Michael. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Peggy. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Anybody that I missed, it's not on purpose. I'm going over these quickly. So anyhow, yes, yoga months. Yes. And Joanne, okay, I saw Joanne's name come up. So hi. Oh, there you are. Hi. 100 or so here in Skull Valley, Arizona. Well, that's not unusual for this time of year, right? So anyway, so disturbing thing number one, and we'll say this with positivity, not with dread. Hurricane Beryl. Well, it's actually three, but two rolled into one. So the first one is the weather and the climate. Hurricane Beryl, it formed in the month of June, and it actually formed like maybe within 48 hours after I prepared my notes for the July psychic forecast, or maybe whatever. Anyway, whatever. I got the energy before the storm, but that's beside the point. What's important is that it broke all kinds of records for the earliest Category 4 storm, the earliest Category 5 storm, the earliest storm of that magnitude formed that far out in the Atlantic, onward and onward and onward and upward and upward. And with that, then we also had a very crazy June heat wave here. Here it lasted a good week. It was intense for about 4 or 5 days, but what's disturbing is not the fact that it got hot in June. It gets hot in June, but the fact that the humidity was so high, the record high low temperatures, not just for the day but for the month. And so, I think it was Caribou, but somewhere up in northern Maine, it was forever, like the record low high temperature in the month of June. June heat waves are usually not that humid, but because the water temperature around the central and southern Atlantic and the Gulf is at record highs, it's pumping more moisture into the atmosphere. So we're getting August style heat wave in June. So this was very disturbing to me because I know this is going to get worse. I know the water temperature is going to keep getting higher. I know because I study meteorology that and weather that well, they're the same thing, but I know that if we're getting this kind of activity in July, and what happened in the Atlantic Basin, especially when there's a developing La Nina or a cooling in the west, in the central and southern Pacific, is that the water temperature is going to get higher. The wind shear that keeps hurricanes in check weaken, and it's going to have, not just for people that get into these record hurricanes, but the entire hemisphere is affected because these tropical systems bring warm air north, basically. And we're here in the Northeast, everywhere in the country, we have to be aware of increased tropical activity, which means there could be flooding. So have a plan if you need to leave. I'm not that far from a creek where I live. It did not flood in Hurricane Irene, which is a benchmark up here. It was a tropical storm when it hit. It came close, but it didn't flood. But the atmosphere, especially today, can deliver much more moisture than that. And anyway, so not to freak anybody out, just be aware. The times they are changing, the climate's responding. So that's number one. Number two thing that got me a little bit up in arms is this whole like Project 25 thing. I know a lot of you have heard about that. Apparently, it's an agenda from the far right of what the world's good, what they want to happen in the world. And none of it's, I mean, I shouldn't say none of it, but a lot of elements of that are just not going to happen. They're just not attainable, and they're freaky. And my feeling is it's just another step in the process to try to freak everybody out, to get everybody in fear mode, to get everybody angry, to deepen the divide, so that the powers that be that run the two parties in the first place and everything that really happens in society can keep their agendas going, get everybody in fear, get everybody angry, and then they're easier to control. So be aware of what they're saying, and there's usually some element of truth in these things. And yes, I do believe there is an agenda to try to push forward some of these, what do you want to call them, laws, mandates, governing points of society. I mean, some of it's already happened. I mean, look what happened to Roe versus Wade and all of that, for example. So some of it's actually happening, but don't freak out about it. Again, the thing is, stay in your heart every day. Do long, deep breathing when you feel stressed. Clear your mind. There's a technique. I kind of, through my research of teachers like Joe Dispenza, although I developed these breathing techniques, years before I even knew about them. So, finding these great teachers and actually through studying with them, I modified a lot of my techniques actually because they're amazing. Joe Dispenza, always like the three amigos come into mind, but there's others. Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, and Bruce Lipton, but there's other great ones out there. But anyway, long, deep breathing. Every time you can drop into a meditative state in 4 seconds, according to Joe Dispenza. For me, it might take closer to 10 seconds, but you don't have to like just sit there and meditate for 10 minutes just to get into the state. All you do is you stop your thoughts. You become a nobody, right? That's a Joe Dispenza-ism. Nobody. I'm not a body. I'm energy. I'm spirit. So what I do is I do a little long, deep breathing. I feel my shoulders relax. I feel my chin and cheeks relax. I feel my forehead and temples relax. These are the three principal points of tension for most people, including myself. So I just relax them. I inhale love, I exhale release, and I'm a nobody. I'm just observing everything, but focusing on nothing. And within 10 seconds, I drop into that state of deep relaxation where I start to blend with the universe or blend with the quantum field. And from there, then I reconnect with my ultimate power source. If you want to call that God or source, by any other name. As Alamod said, you can't get wet by the word water, but that's that. So let me just, and also when we do tarot time, this is a little bit more community active. So I like to flash some of your comments, and my breathing techniques have been like, oh great, I heal. Oh, that is awesome. No longer take medication. Well, that's a personal testimony. All right, that's really really awesome. And blindly inspired up in Germany. What in the world is happening? Hello everybody, thank you. You're welcome. And Millie saying, "Oh, blindly." I'm sorry. Your comments are coming in too quick. And Joanne saying, "Be an observer. Stay above the fray." Good advice. And yes, it's still wreaking havoc. Oh yeah. I was heartbroken seeing the interviews with the people in southern Jamaica. But it's yeah. But you need a Pacific hurricane to do that. Not an Atlantic one. We'll be back. Yeah, see you later. Doreen got a phone call. All right, Marjorie. Hi, Marjorie. Good morning. All right, and good morning, Mr. Dawn. Yes, to the traffic light. I'm gonna one of these days get interviewed by Saint Germain on Mr. Floyd's channeling. I can hardly wait. I'll respond to that email when I can. So Josh does channeling every morning now. It is on this channel with Saint Germain and Archangel Raphael too. Safe travel. Oh, you're at a traffic light. Yeah, stay safe. Yep. And let me see. So Millie found a YouTube channel dedicated to breath work through Emilio Ortiz's channel. She was a guest. Wow, thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, there's so many good channels out there. I mean, you have to wade through a lot of crap, honestly. But there's so many good channels out there also, that are really doing the work. Not those that are trying to exploit the awakening to pad their wallets and all that kind of stuff. That'll always exist no matter what's going on in the world. People are opportunistic. People are suffering financially. But that said, there's those that are really doing the work, that have done the work, that aren't just trying to hop on a bandwagon, but actually have done the work. They've changed their lives. They've healed things. They've overcome things. Spiritual growth, spirituality. It's not about those flowery incense and sitting on a mountaintop meditating. I mean, that's part of it. But it's getting the muck and mire, getting your hands dirty, because you're already spirit. You can't get more spiritual than you are right now, right? You're spirit. How could you be more spiritual than that? So why aren't you spiritual? I'm not saying you, but just as a statement, why aren't you spiritual then if you're pure spirit? It's the programming. It's the separation from who you are. And you can only clear that through getting your hands dirty and digging in the mire and clearing that, eradicating the programming. That means, according to the Webster Dictionary, eradication, pulling it up from the roots. So basically, they talk about healing the layers. Yeah, that's part of it. But I want to get to that core, and I want to heal from the core. So once you clear enough layers, and you can go right to the heart of it, eradicate it. And I did that when I had terrible addiction issues, and I did some ceremony work, and it's not that I had to go to treatment or any of that. I just lost the desire to use, basically, because I found something greater through being able to clear the very, very core issue. For me, it was my birth trauma was the very, very core issue. And I went through a whole shamanic process where I relived it, basically, and I was able to clear that part of my life change. So anyway, it's different for everybody. But yeah, I think you get the gist right now. Again, there's a lot of pressure on us to not grow, because humanity's awakening is, if you want to call them the cabal or deep state, is their worst nightmare, that they're working hard and long to try to prevent that. It can't be prevented. It's like like the Peter Gabriel song that I love about Bantu Stephen Biko, the student activist that was killed in 1977. Apparently, according to the lyrics of Peter Gabriel's song, late September 77, on Elizabeth something drive or whatever. It was business as usual at police room 619. So basically, it was about apartheid South Africa, but the line that sticks out in my mind is you can blow out a candle, but you can't blow out a fire. Once the flames begin to catch, the wind will blow it higher. And that's basically it. We're all little flames, and when we join together, we're a big bonfire, and they can't put out a big bonfire, basically. They can try to isolate every little flame and extinguish every little flame. So we've got to join at the heart and create a bonfire of energy and awakening that nobody can stop. And that's how we're going to win, basically. Anyway, let's do some tarot now. Isn't that a good idea for tarot time, right? Let's do some tarot. So I'm going to go into a meditation card now. So this will be for our energies, our community for this week, and maybe beyond also. By the way, the song's called Biko, Biiko, from Peter Gabriel's third solo album. And it is a great one. A little dark, but great. All right. So let me clear my mind. So the motto around here is when you're thinking, you're not connecting. When you're connecting, you're not thinking. So if I'm not thinking, then I start to blend more with spirit, right? Spirit can guide my hand now. I got it. Wow. Boom. Don't be afraid of the tower. There's no negative cards in the tarot. It's just energy. The tower levels everything. What do we need to level in our lives now? Or maybe we need to level up even. But this is key 16. We talk about that numerology from time to time. We've had a lot of 16s coming up. And the tower, basically, the lightning strikes the tower falls. But from the rubble, you can build on a stronger foundation. So as you go into this one, and this is a little heavier than what we've been dealing with in our meditations, right? But this is what Spirit chose for us. So do what you feel comfortable with. But as you step in, see what else you see. You'll come across this tower. What does this tower mean to you? What is that in your life? Are there other beings that you can't see in the picture here? Because this is just the doorway into a whole other reality. But this is change. It's good change, but sometimes we have to accept that whatever we built in our lives, collectively and individually, that sometimes that has to fall in favor of new growth. I just transplanted all my plants. You can't see them because I had to cut a lot of dead stuff out of them. Sometimes we have to do that. We have to transplant things. We have to clear the old. So as you step in, it's like, what do we need to clear? Maybe an energetic thing or whatever, but what do we need to clear here and transit through? And then you may meet some guides or whatever. You may get some visions, but the idea is it's a process that we go through periodically. And the only way this is going to happen really is if you don't have negative associations with whatever it is that's being leveled in your life. This is what got you from point A to point B, which is right now. This is how you learned and grow. This, whatever is being leveled at one time may have been an amazing positive thing, but it's outdated now because you've ascended, you've grown, you're ready for the next thing. So, we fear change. It's part of our instinct, our survival instinct. So there's always going to be that fear and trepidation. So as you step into this card, I'm going to suggest doing this a little bit differently than what I recommend. What I normally recommend is you clear your mind, you open your heart, you get very present like any other meditation. Then in your mind, you step into the card, and the first thing that you do is that when you step into the card, is gauge the energy, because that's how do you feel? That's how you gauge the energy. How do you feel? in this case, because it's a little bit more intense, you may want to bring in like Archangel Michael or Jesus or Yeshua or Buddha, whatever your belief system is, which would be, I don't want to use the word protection because there's nothing you need protection from, but whatever it is that you need to feel a little bit more empowered and safe. I would say either that or just prepare like a golden circle of protection. And how you do that is you go into the heart, you feel grateful in the heart, you feel compassion in the heart. That activates your heart chakra. Then your entire energetic system and fields come online on a more spiritual vibration. So when you open your heart and you expand your heart frequency, feel that around you. Just feel like the energy of your heart is surrounding you. Your guides are surrounding you. So whatever it is that you need to face right now, whatever it is that you need to level to reach your next level of spiritual awakening, that you had that sense of feeling safe about that. And then be aware of messages. And then when you come out of the meditation, maybe journal anything that was hard or anything that came up or any messages that you got. Also, as a meaning, I think as a group, as a community here, we're going to be facing like something that we're going to need to just surrender, let the tower fall, because we're all rebuilding, we're all changing, we're all receiving new downloads of information from Great Spirit or Source. Some of it's coming through the solar activity, through the EMFs, or not EMFs, the oh God, what's it called? Like the solar radiation. I'll leave it at that. To the CMEs, the coronal mass ejections, the flares, and everything. These are energetic influxes that affect the earth fields, that affect the consciousness fields, and allows more information through from the cosmos into our human collective. So that this is what's going on in this awakening cycle. Also, we're being downloaded with new information now. Well, it's not new, but it's new to us in this cycle of our experiences. So anyway, let me just see what you guys are saying for a second. And thank you. I agree with that, because I get my hands in the dirt. What was I talking about earlier? You get your hands dirty. It's like, oh, dirt, worms. No, that's not me. I mean, people say that I have soft hands, but not like that. No. And yeah, so yeah, getting those hands, getting those feet in the dirt. That's really good. Yeah. In the yard, yes. I hear a morning dove. Oh, I love the sound of the morning doves. Thank you, Melly. And you're not that far from me. New beginnings, Tracy saying, yeah. And love these. Yeah, they're very, nothing's really planned here. I mean, some of my live streams, I got my notes and I'm working from notes, but this is all coming through as I'm working. Nothing scripted here on Tarot Time. Well, not by me, by Spirit it is. Yeah. All right, so mixing cards. We're going to do a 3-card spread, kind of look at the energies that we're going to be, working with this week or up against, depending what the case may be. The people that are moving, that includes my son is moving also. I just thought about that. They're showing me people moving. So the guys that are here that are moving, or gals, the universe has your back. Good music. They also show me musical notes. So do your chanting, your toning, your Vedic chants are really good. AKA Jared's not on right now, but WHOTHE, he does a lot of Vedic chanting on his YouTube channel. Since I'm on the shout outs, Millie's got a channel she's in. Doreen of Children's School of Yoga has her YouTube channel for her yoga classes, so she's not only just here. Hi, Jody. Thank you, Tracy, for that. Oh wow, and that's special to hear that in New York City. I was thrilled one time when I saw hawks in Central Park, and one time, and in a landfill right by the East River on 34th Street. I used to live in Waterside Plaza. This is back in the day. When I moved, my parents still lived there. And they was walking down, under the underpass. So you guys that know Manhattan, that area, there's a heliport there also. But they torn a building down. It was just a landfill. There's a puddle in it. And in that puddle, there's a blue heron. right in Midtown Manhattan. There's a blue heron sitting in that puddle. And I was just like, oh, nature is really trying to interact with the city. I thought that was amazing. So anyways, clearing my mind. When we're thinking, we're not connecting, and when we're connecting, we're not thinking. All right. I'm doing this, and my guides are laughing at me. All right. All right. Cut it out. Cut it out. All right. Clearing my mind. One. See, now I've got fire escapes on my mind. I'm trying to clear my mind. I've got fire escapes on my mind. I also have a clipboard. So this is my version of technology. No AI here. Okay, so the general feeling is coming into the work with unrest, but finding balance as the work goes on. The Hierophant could be the government. It's Taurus energy. In some decks it's called the Pope also. It's that figure that's knowledgeable but limiting at the same time. So when we get the pillars, we've got 2 out of 3 cards are pillar cards. Pillars are portals. We're in a lot of portal energy. The summers are filled with it. The Sirius Gateway portal, then the 7-7 portal. Well, granted, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. These are all considered portal energies, but there's that. Then we come into the very powerful Lionsgate portal, where Sirius becomes visible in the morning sky. That happened at the very end of July. If you're up in the pre-dawn hours and you look to the southeast and you have a clear view, you may catch a glimpse of Sirius before it gets too bright. That's when the dog days of summer begin, because the dog star becomes visible again, because it comes out of the bright orb of the sun. Because by then the sun's already in Leo, so it's already gone. Over 20 degrees past. And anyway, I'm being a little bit too technical. So you come closer to 8-8, it's making an alignment with the Pyramid of Giza. Every year I've got to bone up on this research to explain exactly what the alignment is. But with the pyramids, in any event, there's an activation that the ancient Egyptians knew about. So people that don't really know or don't really get it will be like, oh yeah, Lionsgate portal, yeah, that's all New Age BS, blah blah blah, whatever. It's like, no, this is ancient Egypt. This is something that was there. There have been rituals around that. It's just like when I hear people talking about quantum physics as a pseudoscience in the New Age movement, like, well, what's his name? Not Neil Bohr. Who's the other one? The one that won the Nobel Prize in 1918, I believe, was the year for science, for his research in quantum physics. Max Planck. Thank you, Max Planck. Anyway, so portals takes you to one reality to another, right? All the realities overlap in this physical reality. They're only separated by frequency, by energy and time, basically. So if you shift your frequency, then you become aware of different realities that coexist in the physical. That's what portals do. So as you step through the portal and you raise your frequency, you start to get new awarenesses, new insights. Maybe you'll meet new guides. Next Thursday, there'll be a video out about how, in this new energy, how to connect with the new guides that are working with us. So this is very new information that's not that available on YouTube yet. It will be. Steve Noble is one of the pioneers, so you'll find similar information on his channel, but not too many others yet. So anyhow, yeah, and we need to be in our wisdom. We need to be grounded. When the Hermit cards reverse, your ground. I shouldn't say don't let yourself get freaked out or triggered. That's the wrong advice, because that's just not genuine. Be aware when you get freaked out. Step back. When you get freaked out and triggered. I've been meditating over 40 years. I get freaked out and triggered. So we're still ascending in the human experience, but that being that I'm not yet an enlightened master, I'm not really attracting other enlightened masters. We're all in different points of our spiritual evolution, basically. I mean, I'm a teacher. I'm a student first and foremost. I'm a spiritual teacher, but not yet an enlightened master. I think we've got 2 or 3 levels to go there. Thank you very much. But point being is that don't try to stop what you're feeling and thinking, but don't feed into it. So there's that balance. I'm a Libra. We'll talk about balance a lot. I'm a Libra, and so you'll be aware of your feelings. If you have a moment of fear or panic or whatever, and you're self-aware at that moment, be aware of that. But don't be those emotions. Be the observer of them, and you'll clear them a lot more quickly that way. And you realize it's just a reaction. At the end of the day, change has to happen. That's what we want. So this could also be about foolishness, because it's the Hermit card. Listen to your higher wisdom. Don't buy into what the news is saying. This is, to me, this is like hand her up. I'm standing between the pillars. I'm not letting you through these pillars. I'm going to feed you this programming through the media, through the governments, through everything. We're going to talk more about Joe Biden and his failures or whatever, with the debate or whatever, or the fact that that there's somebody else that's running for president, that's a convicted felon, basically, but that's allowable under our Constitution. All this stuff, don't get triggered by this. There really is no right or left. That's all made up. There's one energy, there's one political system. It's all an illusion from where I'm sitting anyway. It's all an illusion to keep us divided, and really to keep everything from going on, from moving forward. And I think a lot of you are aware of that. But again, this is another pillar card. This makes me feel like you get through the pillar. What's on the other side? So once, this card. So this is more. I think this is going to tap into more of a spiritual reading for our community today. But once you acknowledge whatever it is that may be taking you off of your, or take you out of your higher wisdom, basically, and recognize what forces are there preventing. And at the end of the day, we're the only ones that prevent ourselves. In the Bible, the devil can only tempt, right? So and how does the devil tempt? By triggering our emotions, tempting us to get angry, tempting us to get fearful, however you want to look at it. So basically, they're really, there's nobody blocking us but ourselves. So remember that. That's very empowering. Some people may think that that's very kind of not victim, but very kind of self-defeating. No, it's very empowering, just knowing that there's plenty of stimulus to get us to that point, but we're the only ones that block ourselves. So the Hierophant, again, that could be the spiritual leader, but on one hand, but at the same time, sometimes the spiritual leader is not, I don't know what the right word is, what way of explaining this. You have to get past the dogma of it. Spirituality is within. Again, you can't be more spiritual than you are right now, because you are spirit. So learn from this. It's about learning and growth. It's not a negative thing, but at some point, you've got to step through that. You've got to transcend that. And then you find the teacher more within. Then you step through the portal, and then there's the castle. Then it's like a wedding almost. It's like marrying God or spirit in a way. So in any event, try to stay in your power this week. Try not to get overly triggered by things. Saying this is your Garden of Eden, so it's like a very much of a rebirth thing, in a sense. So it's like, I'm thinking even now, Genesis on my mind. Their old album was from Genesis to Revelation, so it's kind of taking book 1 and the last book of the Bible and kind of saying it's really, it's almost like the fool's journey. Like you'll come back to the fool again once you do the whole cycle of things. So it all relates. So anyway, what are you guys saying here? Hi, Cheryl. Nice to meet you. All right. I'm missing a lot of yours. Nice. So hi, Felicia. Oh, the obelisk. That's another thing. Yeah, UFO stuff. Some of it's, again, a lot of it's to trigger fear, panic, or control. So we're seeing all these obelisks. I think there's one in Arizona or Colorado that came up lately, and all these UFO things. We were been talking about these upticks, that this was going to happen. So you guys that have been following the predictions here, you were aware that this was a likely trend. And but there's real UFO connections also. A lot of this is what's the right word? I don't know. I can't think of I need water. That's what it is. I need water. I need the flow, and my brain starts to freeze up. Water. Instead to pull this card also. So this is card number 4. Again, tied up, but it's reversed. So it's just kind of adding to the meaning of what we're showing here. Again, it's really our own reactions, our own feelings, how we process things. So let's take the power away from them and put it back on us. That we have the power to choose how we want to react. The only way that that's going to happen is if we allow ourselves to feel what our reactions are, because they're programmed into us. We're not going to know our program if we try not to feel, try to be stoked. Like, I'm not going to feel fear. No, feel it, be it. Walk with it. That's the only way you're going to transcend it. That's the only way you're going to understand it. That's the only way you're going to understand how you've been programmed by this society and what to do to clear that program so you can come back into your power, so you can step into this portal and this 4 of Wands energy, which is, again, it's like it's up on a hill. It's elevation. It's like, it's both grounded as well as ascending. We cannot ascend until we're grounded. Many spiritual teachers and the master teachers, the guides I work with, will say that you're not going to ascend if you're not grounded. You're just going to be spaced out and ungrounded, and people will make fun of you. They're talking through me now. They did that to me for most of my later teens and 20s. I know. But if you're grounded, then you bring that ascension energy to the earth, and you're helping the earth ascend. You're helping all your community to ascend also. We're here for a reason. We're in the physical 3D for a reason. It's our learning ground. So let's do some more and more. Where's my Native American cards? Native American tarot. Where's Felicia? Yes, Felicia's an Ozark Mountain daredevil, right? Yeah, I don't know if you're literally in the Ozarks. That's a band also, the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. All right, so they just popped the number 48 in my mind for some reason. 48 reduces to 12, but it's got that. I feel it had a lot of like the governmental kind of control system energy. Also goes 4 is Uranus, so that's thinking outside the box. 8 is Saturn, and that's the lessons and the karma. 48 is 3. So the card I pulled is the sled. I need my glasses. I need my glasses. So there's 4 dogs. It's the 7 of what? Oh, it's the Chariot. It's key 7. It's the Chariot card. That he's got his dogs, or dogs, wolves. Dogs are loyalty. Wolves are teachers and trailblazers. And it to me, it's almost like he's sort of communing with the dogs, is the feeling I get. And they're kind of looking in different ways, and it's like we got to kind of get together here and figure out which direction we're going to go now. We got to all be in alignment. So I think that's really part of that. So it's almost like everybody wants to go in the same direction, but they just have different ideas of how to get there. So follow your heart, basically. The Native Americans, they could commune with the animals. They didn't necessarily need to like control these dogs or have these harnesses or whatever. They would use their mind to help the dogs flow. It's kind of like some of the legends of pre-Pharaoh Egypt, that they didn't have horses, they had lions, but through their will they could direct the lions to run the chariots. I'm sure Felicia, who's a very avid horse person, can concur. Once you really link in with that animal, you don't need those reins. You don't need to pull or whatever. You can direct them with your intentions and your mind, right? Am I correct about that? Um, and and then I think that's basically that. Go with the flow, get it and everything in alignment, all your different parts become whole, then go with the flow. Have an intention, go with the flow. Detours are fine. Yeah, we learn through our detours also. Uh Very good. Yeah. Oh, chills is a good thing. That means spirit is with you and activating you. Frequency of the week. Ding, ding, ding. So these are the sacred geometry deck. Um, and this will be a nice message for what frequencies you work with. Thank you for that confirmation. Appreciate it. And 11:44. All right. Moving right along. Moving right along. All right. Clearing my mind. Oh, that did not take long. They gave me right to the card. Realization. What do you realize today? Self-actualization, realization. Anyway, the frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in the world. So to me, this is also like an aspect of heart-brain coherence, because when we acknowledge our heart truth and we allow ourselves to let our heart sort of expand, first when the heart frequencies expand, it activates the brain. That's why it's heart-brain coherence, but it activates our whole auric fields. And when our auric fields are activated, we influence everything around us. So once we can be in our heart-centered truth, then we can start to understand more truth about what's going on. So the energies, everything that's been lining up so far shows there's a big change of trajectory for us. That we've been going along, it's been up and down. It hasn't been easy, but we're kind of at the end of some process. And then we have to let the tower fall so we can understand how we're going to build the new structure in our lives, basically. So you can get your own messages through meditating. If I can hold the card still long enough for you guys, right in the center, and just allowing the energy, the sacred geometry to just kind of blend with you, and you blend with it. Open your heart, and what do you feel? What do you know? What do you see? And what do you get? Yes. And there you have it. So we're going to move on to the next thing. So as I constantly realizing nothing is as it seems. Yes, you are smart then. And the horse's heart chakra is huge. Oh yeah, I've been around enough horses to know that. Thank you, Millie, for that. And this is a good one. So Google angel number meaning, looked at the combination of numbers and sometimes each individual. I read more than one article to get I like to read more than one article too on things to get a broader understanding. That's being smart also. We all have a piece of the puzzle, right? We're all a thread in this great tapestry of energy of being in of life, and we all have a part of it, basically. It's when we start to think that we're greater than the other parts that it can be a little bit limiting or problematical. So I also have Isis Oracle cards here. So I'll just quickly pull a card here, and then I have Kaya Great Angel and Ancestors. Trying to move it along a little bit. Hey Laura, good morning to you too. So we got the Lunar Queen. She the Celestial Crescent. This is what the card looks like. So we're in that new moon energy still. We're in that 7/7 portal energy still. Very divine feminine energy around that. It's the sign Cancer, which is lunar based astrology also, and so forth. And there's it's interesting. They show me this symbol here, but in my mind pointing upwards. I think this is just a personal thing, but I think the thing is that that downward to me is releasing, but when you turn it upward, it's kind of filling that. It's not really a chalice, but that shape up. And she's a warrior. I can see that. And she's expanding, and she's got the moon behind her. So the moon, that's our intuition, our feelings, who we are on the inside, how we connect to spirit, divine feminine energy, all that kind of stuff. So basically the crescent, yeah. Yes, the crescent also. So it's kind of like it's a good time to empty, but to be in acknowledgement of refilling. And it's all kind of like as I'm talking, I'm just seeing this image of like it's raining, and then people are getting these buckets to collect the rainwater, either to give to the plants or for drinking water and stuff like that. So I think part of this is really gathering your spiritual nourishment, and part of it could be opening your heart and connecting to the lunar frequencies that way also, basically. Happy birthday to your daughter, Colleen. Oh, the Omega, yes. Yeah, thank you for that. That would be the symbol Omega. Very good. Good catch there, Laura. All right, so next up, here we go. This is Kyle Gray's Angels and Ancestors. We do lots of divination decks here on a Sunday morning. All right here, we've gotten these guys before, and I include them in my angelic. I'm working with 7 now, Hokmael being the 7th one, but Metatron and Sandalphon. Metatron's of the ascended Christ grid, and Sandalphon's of the ascended 5-dimensional Earth grid. This according to Steve Noble again, and others that I've had the pleasure of working with indirectly through YouTube or whatever. So the message here is sacred connection, synchronicity, divine connection, understanding lessons. So whereas we have like the universe or the center of the universe, which is a portal to spiritual understanding, as well as the center of the earth, which is another portal to spiritual understanding. It's really the same portal. It's 2 different expressions. The center of the universe is the Big Bang. The center of the earth is also illuminated through molten iron, and there's said to be a crystal in the center of the earth also. So it's like so that's the physical earth and universe, but there's also a spiritual, a divine, earth vibration, which is represented or brought to us by the archangel Sandalphon, and it's known as the crystalline or 5-dimensional earth grid. And then through Metatron, it's known as the Christ grid, or through the central sun. So these energies blend where? The heart, our central chakra. So that's the 3rd access point to spirit, is the center of the heart. But if you seek spirit, always seek the center, always seek the heart. The heart, your heart, where there's one heart, there's just infinite expression of that. The universal heart or the earth's heart, basically. So by combining these energies, that's another tool that you can use to stay kind of locked into higher frequencies, and to do heart brain coherence with also. So you can add these angelic forces to your heart brain coherence work, and to make it more powerful. That's the message I believe they're trying to give me right now. And Doreen, who gifted me these cards, says, Divine Master Deck, everything works out for the highest good. Yep, you are correct. It's this deck, not Angels and Ancestors. Thanks for the correction. And then Millicent, those are the Earth Star, Metatron, and Soul Star, Sandalphon chakras. Thank you for that also. That makes sense to me as well. So these are our transpersonal chakras she's mentioning. All right, let's do our totem animal and our angel message. And let's get out and enjoy this day, especially if you're in my neck of the wood where we have basically a perfect summer day. It's not too humid, but it is hot, but it's not overbearing humidity. Um, and how about the 7-7 portal? Yes, we're in the 7-7 portal now, so work with the energies to step through the portal. In fact, go back to the new moon meditation that we did with the master teachers. We did that on the 5th, so it's less than 2 days old. Work with that meditation. That's going to help take you into the 7-7 portals more deeply, for Colleen and everybody that asked about that. So it's on the channel. It's the most recent live next to today's that we've done on the channel. So clearing my mind. So show me a turtle. So that's Terrapin. For the fellow deadheads out there, Terrapin Station. But I pulled the dragonfly. I don't even know if there is a turtle in this deck or not. There should be if there's not. The dragonfly is illusion and delusion, but I find dragonfly to be very protective also. And I was under a very bad psychic attack many years ago, and it was affecting my health. And then at one point, after not sleeping and being completely done, I started to do some Tai Chi up on my deck, and then all of a sudden the dragonflies came in, and I sent them to that person, and it broke. The psychic attack broke. So they had, for me, when I see dragonflies, they have a specific meaning. But in the medicine cards, it's about illusion and understanding the nature of illusion. Sometimes illusion is there to teach us the truth also. So being able to separate that from what's not an illusion, and as long as you're in your heart, you're in your truth. You can't be fooled. You can't be programmed, basically. But the dragonflies can also be messages from spirit. They're angelic. They're the fairy realm also. So there's a lot of different meanings for that. But I think I got enough with that. Yeah, I think I got the general meaning. We love the dragonflies, absolutely. Yeah. So that's very good. So very good. So last but not least, I've got angel therapy card, which I like. Even if the author of these cards, Doreen Virtue, has taken a different path in her spiritual ascension, and kind of denounced this work, I still love these cards, and they still speak to me. And what we got is cancel, clear, delete. So we've got kind of this dichotomy or dualistic message coming in: clear, but also ascend, basically. And the two don't have to be diametrically opposed. All opposites are one and the same. But use only positive words and thoughts as they're rapidly manifesting into form. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negativity. And what this is saying to me is that we're in such a high frequency, keeps getting higher, that our words, but the intentions behind the words, which most people are 95+% unconscious of, had more power than it ever did. And if you're doing spiritual work to augment that, that's even more so. So we have to be careful about our words, not because, not just the words, like Alan Watts says, you can't get wet by the word water. It's the intention behind it, it's the energy behind it. It's what we associate with different words behind it. So just be aware. I think that's the idea. When you're using words that are negative, what's your intention behind it? What are you feeling? It may not even be your feeling. It may be just program stuff that you're processing. But the whole idea is to go within, be aware, open the heart. A lot is happening. A lot's changing energetically. The master teachers, I think it might have been the June, the channeling, where they talked about that we're in the quantum leap of collective consciousness, that we're entering into that now. So we're going from a lower frequency to a higher frequency. That's what a quantum leap is. And they said that it will be heralded by anomalies in the sky. And they were talking about around the Perseids meteor shower, that period being the peak of it. I've explained in other videos, a quantum leap isn't a leap. It's a very rapid ascension from a lower to a higher, valence of energy. I don't know if that's the right word. Valence, is that the right word? I have to go back to my chemistry 101. But electrons, they don't. They only exist on certain frequencies, and then they jump to either higher or lower frequencies. They don't just gradually change their energy, and that's what a quantum leap is. So we're doing that in consciousness. So I feel like for some reason this card reminded me to say that what they're saying is that we're going to see anomalous events in the sky as we enter into the peak of the leap. And while we're in the peak of the leap, we're more in the quantum field energy, because what happens is with the electrons as well as with consciousness, that we press extremely rapidly through this realm of all possibilities, whether you call it being closer to God if you're more spiritual or religious, or the quantum field if you're more scientific. So if you're closer, have better access to that, that's the field that created everything. So be careful. I don't want to say be careful, be aware of what you're thinking, what those thoughts mean to you, what you're imagining, what you're visualizing, because you're more apt to be creating it now, because the energies we're in the shift now, and that's just the way it is. All right. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. I don't think I have any live streams planned this week. I mean, I'm gonna be pulling back just slightly because I'm preparing the retreat. I have to check with Yana, but I think as of right now, I've got one more space to stay. This is August 2nd, 4th, Spirit Fest 2024. So we're having an intimate but a big retreat here in the Catskills Mountains, and some of you are already in it. There's options for off-site lodging too. We have lots of hotels and B&Bs, all that kind of stuff here. But I think we've got one more opening to stay in the facilities, and that would mean that I could take up to 3 or 4 more. I don't want it to be. I'm thinking 15 roughly would be a good cutoff point for this. Then it starts to become less intimate when we have more than that. So anyway, thank you guys. Love you, and we'll see you at the next video. Have a beautiful Sunday, everybody. And if you want to go back and do the meditation again, it's on the channel. I'll find it and clip it to the pinned comment. What I'll do now as soon as I hang up. So we're hanging up the phone now. Love you guys, and see you around at all our next videos. Love you.